What's up? What's up? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Please hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. And also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content. As well as all of my videos. Hope everybody doing all right tonight. Wanted to go live again. And definitely want to talk about a couple of things right now. I want to give a shout out to the whole Lions Den, both basketball and as well as boxing communities. Want to give a shout out to all of my subs that's been rocking with me. Salute to you, Brown Sugar. And I'm gonna talk about what you had sent me to Brown Sugar. I received that. We're gonna nip that in the bud too as well. But we're gonna talk a little hoops right now. Before I get this video started too, I also want to give a shout out to the brother Greenleaf Exclusive. Salute to my Texas guy holding it down for H-Town. Greenleaf. He is a Houston Rockets fan, Houston native. So definitely want to send my salute to him and what the Rockets been doing, man. Now, it used to be a time when you used to look at the Houston Rockets and say to yourself, it was a roller coaster ride with the Rockets, okay? Now, back in the days, you used to look at the Rockets, they were feared, okay? When we talk about the 90s Rockets, the early 90s Rockets, even before they had three-peated, the Rockets were a force to be reckoned with, okay? When you consider the Hakeem Olajuwon, when you consider, guys like Vernon Maxwell, of course, when Clyde came, and then Sam Cassell, the whole team, Robert Horry, all of them, everybody that was on that team back then, Mario Ellie. Then, of course, they came when they had, Hakeem, and then they had Barkley and, Drexler, and then, of course, then they added Pippen or whatnot later on, and, of course, that didn't work. Then, of course, the Yao experiment came when you had Yao Ming, and also you had Tracy McGrady, the T-Mac, that whole era. Can't forget about the Steve Francis era. Even though that era was really not looked at as a strong era when we talk about the Steve Francis era and the Cuttino Mobley era. That era really wasn't considered, like a strong Houston Rockets team. They were good for show, and they were dynamic and everything in terms of the athleticism and what they brought to the crowd and everything. But you didn't really say to yourself, okay, these guys might be going somewhere, right? Now, well, we can't forget about. I don't know why I skipped the years. I don't know how I forgot the Houston Rockets years. The James Harden years. Okay, the James Harden era. While they had one player on there, and they added a few players. You had Dwight Howard come through. You also had CP3 that came through, and of course Westbrook came through all those years. and Daryl Morey experiment that it seemed to possibly work, but unfortunately, they just could never get over the hump, and everybody wants to talk about how the Clippers were cursed, but the Rockets seem to be cursed too. Okay. Um, and then you had, some down years up until Ime Udoka has arrived. Okay. Um, Ime Udoka has arrived on this team, on this Rockets team, this young Rockets team that includes, of course, Jalen Green, okay, who's putting up really big numbers. You got guys like Cam Whitmore. You got a veteran and a champion in Fred Fleet. Uh, and you just have you got a young, hungry squad. With some of those guys they're not even old enough to drink yet. Okay, and yet still these guys have won 9 straight. You also got a couple of savvy veterans on the team, like a Jeff Green, who's been deep in the playoffs. Also uh, has himself a ring, uh, 2 rings if I'm not mistaken, because he ended up winning with Denver. Uh, and then you also have Reggie Bullock. You got Reggie Bullock there coming off the bench, and I'm talking about the veterans. The Houston Rockets have really found an identity. Okay, let's just go ahead and put that out there. Now, this is the reason for the Rockets resurgence. Okay, the Rockets, unlike the Clippers, okay, and I have to throw the Clippers out there. You know, I'm not one of those Clipper haters and none of that other stuff, but I will critique the Clippers. The Clippers' problem is the lack of leadership, and of course, they don't have an identity. The Rockets are forming an identity. They don't have it. They don't have an identity crisis. And when you got a guy in what's up with it, Ron? When you got a guy in Ime Udoka who has taken over squads before, he's came in there. He's pretty much brought he's taken his philosophy, and these guys are buying into it. Okay, you got a guy in Jalen Green who's going through turmoil, trials, tribulations, or whatever, but who better than can relate to him? And I forgot about Dylan Brooks. All 5 of the starters, too, by the way, I meant to tell y'all, they're all averaging in double figures, okay, including Dylan Brooks. I know a lot of people don't like Dylan Brooks. I like Dylan Brooks. Now, does he do some dirty stuff sometimes? Absolutely. Absolutely. He does dirty stuff. Um but at the same token, you need a guy like Dylan Brooks on your team to bring that nastiness uh, out of the other players. It's just like when Patrick Beverly was playing, he got heavily criticized. He was able to take all of the criticism and stuff with his style that he played, but people wanted him on the team. It's the same thing with Draymond Green. And Dylan Brooks can actually score. He's actually a good scorer. And I'm wondering why I'm being pulled over. Okay. Hold on, y'all.